We are continuing to learn a lot more about the latest trans mass shooting in this country, the latest trans mass shooting in a string of mass shootings by trans people. And we don't say that to be cruel, we say it because others will not. We also feel it's important to continue to talk about issues and facts that the rest of the media are deliberately avoiding, because we now have a new type of terrorism in this country that didn't exist that long ago. Radical left trans terrorism, and no one wants to talk about it. And no one wants to call this out for what it actually is, a mental illness that the left have spent years brainwashing society into thinking is normal. It's not normal, and that's not our opinion. According to the American Psychiatric Association, transgenderism was a mental disorder until Joe Biden became president. But just like many other mental illnesses, we don't celebrate them. We don't affirm depression with depression-affirming care. We make sure people get the help they need. It's common sense. But the left glorifies it. Look at this. The left encourage it. The left push this on our children. That's a little boy right there. And people are clapping. The left celebrates this with catchy slogans like, it's better to have a trans kid than a dead kid. And then you have Tim Walz signing a bill establishing Minnesota as a trans refugee state, basically turning Minnesota into Disneyland for really sick people. Love wins. No, it doesn't. Love kills. And yesterday, a trans man, Robert Westman, murdered 2 children and injured at least 17 others at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. Robert Westman was mentally ill. He's dead now. And we don't say that to be mean. We wish Robert got the help that he needed before it was too late. But he didn't, because we live in a society where being trans is celebrated, where castrating children is normal, where teachers will lie to parents about a student's gender. Robert Westman also targeted Catholics because of their religion. As the Democrat war on Christianity continues, Christians are the most persecuted religion in the country, and no one ever talks about that because it doesn't fit the approved media narrative.
This individual is writing about a whole host of things. Won't get into all the particular details. As we stated last hour, we're not here to do the bidding of this individual so that we can basically put out the information they were hoping to gain out of this shooting.
Yeah, we're not going to get into those pesky details tonight, Charlie. That's their excuse for everything right there, not telling you the truth. That's their excuse. So they can hide the fact that the words "kill Trump" were written on the shooter's gun because the shooter wanted to kill Donald Trump. That's why it was written there. They're also hiding this, a sticker on the manifesto of the trans flag with a rifle saying "defend equality." They're not going to show you that. The media don't care about that. They only care if the shooter is a straight white male. Even better, is the shooter a Trump voter? Is the shooter a MAGA Republican? So instead of covering the facts about what happened yesterday, the media made this once again about gun control, a dog whistle from the 1990s. And according to the child mayor of Minneapolis, we are the ones who have lost touch with reality and humanity.
Obviously, I've heard about the rhetoric and the narrative that is being pushed out, but here's the thing. Anybody that is going to use this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any community has lost touch with a common humanity.
So this is the guy that cried, wept at George Floyd's funeral. Remember that scene? He shed no tears yesterday. I also thought it was strange he didn't defend Catholics or Christianity. He didn't say anything about the Catholics who were just murdered by a trans person. No, instead the mayor of Minneapolis defended the trans community after a trans man killed 2 people and injured 17 others, while his Democrat Party friends have no problem vilifying straight white men as the biggest threat in America.
White supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan, and the most dangerous people in America continue to exist. That is the greatest threat to terror in America.
Our country should be more fearful of white men.
We have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
How foolish and crazy is that we put up with that for so long. The war against white people is also part of this story. It's another part of the story that nobody wants to talk about. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk about that as well, because being white is okay. And for years, the left have turned white people, or tried to turn white people, into villains. They're not. As the left tries to destroy this country from within, the left vilifies you, then disarms you with gun control while attacking your schools and your churches, while radicalizing society and stoking fear and hate. And then it happens again. Yesterday, another deeply disturbed trans maniac fires through the stained glass windows at a Catholic church during Mass. And what's the left do? The left makes it about gun control and not the trans shooter. Listen closely to how MSNBC tiptoed around the fact that the shooter was trans deliberately while talking about the red flags of mental illness.
Likely stopped communicating with other people. They began to withdraw and change their appearance. And I don't mean change their appearance like you might hear. I understand at least early reporting is that we have someone, who is female, but presents as female but was male. So I'm not talking about that kind of change.
No, of course not. But wearing black clothes clearly means that you're sick in the head, right? According to MSNBC. But being a biological male, thinking you're a woman who can get pregnant, needing government-sponsored tampons from people like Tim Walz in the state of Minnesota, that's not a red flag at all, Ari. Not at all. None of this is an accident. And it's not a one-off. This is a trend. This is a pattern. Patterns are important. In Aberdeen, Maryland, a transgender shooter killed 3 people before killing himself. In Highland Ranch, Colorado, a transgender shooter opened fire in a classroom, killing 1 student and injuring 8 others. In Nashville, Tennessee, a transgender shooter committed a mass shooting at another Catholic school, killing 6 people. All of that over the last few years, and most people have never heard about any of it because it does not fit the approved media narrative. In Philadelphia, 40-year-old Kim Brady Carricker, a cross-dressing man who loved to wear women's jewelry and clothing, killed 5 people. The motive? Random violence. The court determined that he was too unfit to stand trial. In Perry, Iowa, 17-year-old gender-fluid Dylan Butler killed 2 people at a high school, and he tried to live stream the whole thing before it was taken down. In Winder, Georgia, 14-year-old Colton Gray killed 4 people after he was bullied for being gay. So at what point do we stop glorifying mental illness and start having an honest conversation about how to get these people the help that they need? More people identify as transgender in this country today than in any other country at any point in global history. Over 80% of people under the age of 35. It's a shocking number. It's time to start being honest about what's happening in this country instead of ignoring it and glorifying it and watching more and more innocent children become statistics. Because being transgender is not normal and it's not brave. But the trans population has doubled in this country over the last 5 years. We need to stop normalizing the violence associated with trans people as well.
He made the man to be a man. He didn't make the woman to be a man. He made the woman to be a woman. What are you going to do? Come attack me now? I should.
I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make.
In Texas, at an ICE facility, 11 people from a trans activist group were charged with attempted murder. Did you ever hear about that? That happened this year. And do you remember Zizian, the leader of the vegan transgender cult? He was linked to 6 murders across the country, including the murder of a Border Patrol agent. He was caught this year. Zizian was arrested in 2025, and I guarantee you that you didn't hear about that. And this is all happening so often now, and the media has covered it up for so long that people really have no idea that it's even going on. It's a pattern, it's a trend, it's beyond that. And that much is clear. We now have a radical left-wing transgender domestic terrorism crisis in this country. These are not isolated incidents. This is domestic terrorism being committed by the sickest people in our society, and the time has come to stop affirming this behavior and start affirming that these people need help, or this will only get worse.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmidt tonight on Newsmax.